Alright, I have something for you, and today I'm going to tell you a story about Reggie. And Reggie was kind of a mental patient in prison. And he was at a place where I once was at, where I told you a story about PJ, um, Patrick Westone, getting killed that morning. I walked out to get my tray. He had been killed by a cellmate. Anyway, I was at Michigan City, Indiana State Prison. It's a maximum security. A lot of lifers. That's where death row is, or they call it X row. And I cell house. Reggie, I like fucking with some weird dudes. Reggie was a weird dude. And I'd say a story about a dude that carries a fucking nail in his marker and will punch like an ice pick. But anyway, Reggie, Reggie was very strange, man. He come up and start talking to you, and he's actually on lockup, MSNBC lockup, and but he had these glasses, wire rim glasses. I had a Star David necklace. He come up and he said, he's like, "Oh, I like your necklace, Star David, da da da," and he'd go on. Then he'd start rambling. He'd be like, and he's like, next thing you know, it's weeks and then days, and he's like, "What is time? An illusion." He's like, nanoseconds. He goes, and then he goes, "What is it anyway?" And whatever. And but I still fuck with him. And but Reggie was in there because he had jumped. He told me, I'm a nosy ass man. You know what I mean? Not always good to be nosy in prison, but it was cool. People knew me. And Reggie told me, he said, my stepdad, he's like, I just freaked out one day, and I jumped on his back, hit him with that claw hammer in the head several times, pressed his skull open. He said, I took his brain, and he said, I ate some of it. And I said, for real, man, Reggie? And we were just standing like this, like my hand is as close to me, the bars. And he said, yeah, and he said, it makes me cringe thinking about it. But then I seen the Aryans too, like Reggie, because he was so weird. He got too close to him, and they were on the other side of these bars and grabbed him up and damn near strangled him to death. Like a few days after I asked him that, and just because he was weird, people didn't like him. They were leery of him. I wouldn't say necessarily fearful, but he could be unpredictable, And he had nothing to lose. He was kind of nuts. But that story of Reggie, man, the brain eater. Whoa, whoa, here he comes. Watch out. Inmates, you better watch. Yeah, you know what it is. They'll chew you up.